Hi fam, and welcome to a very rainy day here in Bombay. I am here to do a book tag and I have been double tagged to do this. It is the POC Creator Tag, which is the People of Person of Color creator tag, and it's a little strange to kind of do it, I think, for me, because I am Indian, and in India everyone's a person of color. So that's cool, but I like the questions, and I love the people who have tagged me. So I was tagged first by Harshpreet, who is just such a cutie, and I also was tagged by my former employers, Books on Toast, Anuya and Sharon, and I love them, so I will do anything that they tell me to do. So there's that. I will link all of their channels, etc., down below. Please do check them out, they're all amazing. Yeah, that's about it. So on to the questions. The first question is, what ethnicity or race do you identify as? And I identify as Indian. I am from here. But if you really have to get into the nitty-gritties of things as to where exactly I am from, I am somewhat from Punjab, but also from Jammu. So a little bit of Dogris. People Dogras were basically people who are from Jammu, and I have a bit of Dogra in me and a bit of Punjab. So that's that, I guess. The next question is, tell us something you love about yourself. And this feels like as if I am in a therapy session. And I really thought about it and I couldn't figure it out. And I think what I love about myself is that I read, and I have so many books, and I read. But also, I think is it was my birthday recently, and a lot of people told me about how I am fiercely loyal. And I think that is true. I am fiercely loyal and very that's just who I am, I guess. And yeah, I think I really love that about myself. So that's what I love about myself. I don't know, this just feels strange. The next question is, how long have you been in the book community? So on BookTube itself, I think I've been here for about 4 months. However, for Bookstagram, which is like bookish Instagram, for more than 4 years. But of course, like, how long have I been reading? That's like since I was born. Um, like, people read to me. I couldn't read as soon as I was born. That would be like, I would be baby genius levels. But have you guys seen that movie, Baby Genius? No? Next question is, what kind of content do you create? So I have a mixed bag. It is book recommendations. I speak a lot about Indian literature in general because that's something that I am trying to read more of for the past few years. So I started an initiative called #Lit with Indian Lit, where I talk about translated literature in particular, and translated Indian literature. And that's something that I do. I also take part in pretty much every single readathon or anything challenge that comes up because I feel like that drives me. So I have a lot of vlogs. But yeah, that's basically what I do. I book reviews, all of that sort of stuff is what the idea of this channel is, to basically read the books and then tell people about it and hopefully have a discussion about it. So that's what it is. Another part of that question was, do you also create other sort of content? And yes, I do, sort of. I'm trying. With my brother, we have this Instagram page called We Dish It Out. So check it out. We talk about food, and that is essentially the idea. We have to be more regular on it, but we'll get to it. I promise. But yeah, it's great. The fifth question is, what is your favorite genre? Now, that is a little tough for me to decide, but if I really have to think about it, I would say historical fiction. That's because I think I feel like I love history, and I love politics. I'm very like politically inclined, and I love to see how things became how they were. But I also love fiction, so I don't like reading a lot of the history texts because it feels like very academic. But historical fiction kind of puts real world situations and real world people, but in a fictional context. So yeah, I think I'm a sucker for historical fiction for sure. But I also love literary fiction. And I've said this before, I love books that make me sad. So a lot of the books that I read are like sad books, or like full of like just hurt. And I don't know why, but I'm like a sadist or masochist, or what is the word? Yeah, for that sort of thing, because I think I love beauty in prose, and unfortunately a lot of beauty in prose goes into sad, dark books. The next question is your top three favorite books. Now, how in heaven's name am I supposed to do this? But I have selected books that I think would kind of fit in there, and I would definitely want everyone to read. The first one is All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. Now, this book I feel was beautiful, stunningly written. I really liked the plot as well, and it essentially follows this blind girl in Paris and a German boy in Germany, but then was is kind of recruited into Nazi Germany, and it is during the Second World War, and how their paths kind of come together. But it's kind of like a coming of age story, where you see them grow from being infants to now during the war, and just how they kind of deal with what's happening. And I It's one of the most beautiful books I've read, and I love everything about it. So yeah, there's that. The second book is, I have it here, is Tamas by Bhisham Sahani. And this is a translated book. It is translated by the author himself, but it tells you the story of 1947, which is when the India and Pakistan partition happened. And essentially tells you the story of a few characters in this one village that is very close to the border that is now there, and how the riots kind of started and how people dealt with it. And I just loved the stories that Bhisham Sani told, and a lot of it is actually from the stories that he saw himself while he was journeying from now Pakistan to Delhi during the partition. This is a book that's kind of stayed with me for many, many years, and it follows a lot of people, as I said, but a lot of these stories are just heartbreaking. But as I said, I love things that make me cry, so this is one of them. But it's just beautiful, brilliant writing, and just I recommend it to everyone all the time. So yeah. um and then the next book is a book that I read just this year, but in the beginning of this year, and I think I have not stopped talking about it, and that is Know My Name by Chanel Miller. Chanel Miller is the Emily Doe from the Brock Turner case. If you don't know who that is, essentially Brock Turner was this rapist who was also deemed as the Stanford swimmer, who basically sexually assaulted, and raped Chanel Miller, and then she was known as Emily Doe throughout. And the case was very public, and Chanel's name wasn't, as she was basically, her name was hidden as Emily Doe, as I've said a couple of times already. But this story is basically her coming out and saying that this is my name and you need to know what my story is, because you've only got to know some parts of it. And basically Brock Turner was given only 3 months in jail, because they said that the judge said that they didn't want him to have his future ruined. I don't understand that. Anyway, so that's basically what this book is. Just one of the most searingly beautiful books I have ever read in my entire life. Chanel Miller is just such a brilliant writer, and I just love everything that she has written. I've pretty much highlighted the entire book. This book I didn't have the paperback because it hadn't come to India yet, but I have the Kindle and I have the audiobooks. I basically have all formats of this book, but I just loved it so much, and just all the things that she had to say. I have said this so many times now, but the book broke me down but then built me up again. And yeah, cannot stop recommending this book. It's so good. Ma, I'm filming, ma. The next question is your favorite POC authors, and for this, I think I would have to recommend Jhumpa Lahiri because I think she can do no wrong. She is a Pulitzer Prize-winning author who is of Indian origin and now lives in Italy. She's a strange woman, but she's brilliant. And she has written I think 4 books. I've read all of them, loved all of them, given all of them 5 stars, so definitely Jhumpa Lahiri is someone who I have to recommend. However, another author who I've recently started loving is Akweki Amazi, and they are a non-binary author, just come up with a new book called Death of Vivek Oji, and I cannot wait to read it. It is gonna come into bookstores soon in India, and I am like, I've told my bookseller, I was like, as soon as it comes, send it to me because I want to read that book. But they have written 3 books so far. Death of Vivek Oji being one, Pet, which is a young adult book, being another, and then there is Freshwater, which was their debut novel. And they are so good. I love them. Check them out for sure. The next question is, where can you find me outside BookTube? And that is usually in my house because there's nowhere we can go because it's quarantine time. I mean, not quarantine, lockdown, whatever. But yeah, apart from that, social media, I assume, would be Instagram is where I am most um, active. So that's Santhreads there. Then I'm Santhreads on Twitter as well, but I'm not, I mean, I am active. It's fine. If you say something to me, I will reply. And yeah, that's about it. Email, whatever. All information down below. Goodreads, so active on Goodreads. Check all of that down below. I will put all of them in my description. All right, and the last one is to shout out some other POC booktubers and content creators, and I want to tag Jyotsna, Meera, Bookish Geek, Ditsha, I cannot say your name, Dipcha. I'm so sorry. Then also Tammy and Angela, who create some of the some amazing content. And then of course there is, if you didn't know, soon going to be something called the Indian Readathon. So I want to tag the 3 hosts for that this year, and that is Nidhi, who is the creator. There is Rue, and there's also Anisha. So I tag you all, and check them all out. I'm gonna link them in the description down below. They're all amazing, and I follow their content all the time, so make sure you check it out. And that's about it from me. I hope this was helpful. I don't know if it was, but thank you for Sharon, Anuya, and Harsh for tagging me. And as always, keep reading, be safe, subscribe if you feel inclined. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. If you like my hair, you can comment on it. Whatever. Yeah, that's about it. And if you also want to if you're a POC creator and you're seeing this and you haven't been tagged, please, this is me tagging you. Okay, all right, that's about it now. I don't know how to do these things in the end. Okay, bye.